Hello, I'm here with another Stencil with Us open collaboration with Susan from Susan Hiles Art and Sheree from Turquoise Dreaming. This week's challenge is to use paint, paste, and gesso on a tag. I'm going to use gesso, but before I do the gesso, I'm going to show you how I did the backgrounds for my tags. This one I will do first. I did these ahead of time because I needed them to dry, but I will show you how I did it. Let me grab a tag here. Okay, so I used Vintage Photo and I used tea dye ink, and I just put them on my plastic. And then I took my water bottle and just spritzed the plastic. Then I took some saran wrap. You could probably use aluminum foil or plastic bag. And I just dip it in the ink and just dab it onto my card, my tag. Back in, I don't know if it was the 80s, 90s, something like that, they used to use this technique with plastic bags and paint on the wall. But I thought I would try it with my ink. I don't think I ever tried it on walls. I had seen other people do it. And when you mix colors with it, it gives a real pretty effect. And you can make it as light or dark as you want. I was wanting to use some of my mahogany, but I couldn't find that ink pad. So I was wanting some sections that were even a little bit darker, but... Okay, so that's how I made the background for this other tag that I will be using gesso on. Then this one I did use a stencil. I used this one. I figured I needed one with big openings in it. If it was too detailed, I didn't think the design would come through at all. And as you can see, it's not a real crisp design. Let me get my tag. Then I just did the same technique. Which way do I want these to go? Okay, I think I have it lined up the way I want. And again, just doing the same thing. Makes kind of a cool background. Oops, my daughter's up and she doesn't know I'm filming. I may have to shut the door. Just a minute. I'm filming. Sorry about that. She was still asleep when I started, so she didn't know I was doing this. So it gives kind of a painted look, even though it's not paint. So if you don't have paint, you can use your inks as kind of paint. There we go. See, it has a little bit of the design, but like I said, not super sharp. So let me set this aside. Then the third tag that I'm going to use, hopefully to gesso on, is one of these. This is the second filming because I forgot half my supplies upstairs. So I have some that are wet, and I really like the wet ones better than the one that I did earlier that I let dry. So you can see the fronts and backs are totally different on color, even though it's the same ink pad. And I use the same ink pad for all these. So you can see how they turn out quite a bit different. Okay, so I will show you how I did these. And then I will gesso on the dry one. Okay, so I just took a tag, piece of cardstock, and crumpled it up. And I'm using Vintage Photo. And I usually go through and kind of get the tops first and the edges, and then I go through and really smash it in. And when you wet it, the colors will bleed. And they all turn out different because it just kind of depends on the wrinkles in the paper and how wet you get it. And sometimes I think it makes a difference on how wet your ink pad is too, on how much it bleeds. Some colors really bleed well. And sometimes, like I said, I like the back better than I like the top that I started with. Okay, so that's how I did that. Gives it a real vintage look, doesn't it? Okay, so I will set that aside and then I will start gessoing. Now, in one of my last videos, I had done gesso, and that was the first time I'd ever used it. And I had trouble with it, and I don't know if there are different kinds of gesso, and if I got the wrong kind or what. I've had this for a long time, but I had never used it. It's really runny. And so when I went to use it, it just smeared, it just smudged all over. So what I did, and it worked, so we'll try it again. Oops, I don't want that to fall over. Lean it against something here. So what I tried, I thought, well, they make a paste with baking soda, put on stings and stuff, so I will try making a paste with baking soda. So that's what I did to make it more of a paste. So I don't know if anybody can tell me, are there different kinds of gesso? Is there like a paste gesso versus the liquid gesso? I don't know. It still seems a little bit runny. Add a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. I can't remember how much I used the last time. Like I said, this is only my second time working with it, so we'll see how it goes. I really want to use the script stencil, but I don't know how thick of paste I have to have for that to work out. Because I really want the script part to show up and not just be a blob, because that's what happened the last time. So we shall see what happens this time. Okay, so there's my script stencil. And I was wanting to do it on that one. I hope it turns out. Do I have it upside down? It's hard to tell on some of these if you have them the correct way on these stencils, the script ones. Okay, let's try it. See how it goes. Hard to hold the stencil. I should have taped it, shouldn't I? I really need to experiment with this when I'm not filming. Okay, let's see. Cross our fingers. Well, that's not too bad. That looks pretty good, actually. Yay! It's a little smudged in a couple spots, but not bad. Oh, I'm so relieved that it turned out. Okay, let me set that aside. And to wipe down my plastic here. Okay, then we'll try to gesso on something else. On that one. I think I liked that back side better than, I don't know. Let's see. Thought I might just do a design on there. I'm not sure which side. Let's go on that side. It's a side that kind of stands out to me, so. Let me see if I have some tape to tape this down. I have a feeling that is going to move a lot on me. Then you don't have to watch me trying to hold it down. You can actually see what I'm doing. When I see people use gesso, it looks so easy, and then when I tried it, it was a mess. Whoops. Oh, that looks cute. I like that. Okay, so those are my projects for today. They will be drying, and then I will have to decorate them. So let me put up here what we did. So I have this gessoed tag, this gessoed tag, this one that's just inked with using a stencil. Can you see them? I move them down a little. All right, thank you so much for watching, and you have a wonderful day today. Bye.